sleigh bells ring, I'm listening. In the lane, snow is glistening.
The year is 2019, which had a couple of guests on their Hallmark universe. The oldest daughter from Full House, Scott Wolf, and of course, Dolly Parton. Actually, why? And this was also the same year as
Name and address withheld.
that every movie took place in a different country. Rome, Evergreen, Plaza, and of course, Dollywood. I'm pointing this out, but why does the opening credits look like it was from the early 2000s? To save money? Laziness? Because we got Dolly Parton and we couldn't afford the camera that had 1080p on it? Now, I know next to nothing about Dolly Parton besides that she was on Miley Cyrus's aunt on Hannah Montana, and that she's a country singer and created Dollywood. So please don't kill me. I know next to nothing about this woman. Rachel works at a theater, being a woman who basically demands and tells people what to do. How badly is that going to backfire? I do wonder. She has big plans, but sadly the owner of the place has decided not to do any party. So that means she gets time off and she doesn't really know what to do with it. Because busy businesswomen never gets time off, and when they do, they just stare at the wall and wait until it's time to go back to work. Rachel goes home to her daughter, Ava, who is waiting for her to come home.
She closed her eyes and she said the secret password.
Adventure time.
Come on, grab your friends, we'll go to very distant land.
So at dinner, I shit you not, her friend calls her up for dinner and tells her Dolly Parton wants her to come to Tennessee for the Smoky Mountains Christmas at Dollywood. That's great! If this happened in 2015, when the actual 30th anniversary was occurring. Rachel, along with most people, don't believe her. But her friend does convince her that her and her daughter haven't been to Pigeon Forge in quite some time, and a chance to be with the family couldn't hurt.
Christmas in the Smokies, in the house that you grew up in, with your family, in the amusement park where we raised havoc as kids.
Your parents could afford $84 a ticket? Jesus, $84 a ticket. Actually, how much are Disney tickets? Because that shit's expensive too. Hey, if you can afford the money to go to places like this, go off, I guess. Rachel agrees, cutting to Ava and Rachel meeting her parents. Honestly, the parents are nice people. They do all sorts of planning, like sending letters to Santa to getting a Christmas tree. She heads to Dollywood and begins taking photos. This, for some reason, gets the attention of Luke. No, really, she could just be a visitor to the park, and yet he just comes up to her and is like, there are better pictures at the actual park. What if she's taking pictures for the website and now you're really screwed? But Rachel begins working as she nitpicks and gives her ideas. She quickly leaves, meeting up with her friend and to have a meeting with some of the head-ups. And surprise, surprise, Luke is there as well, but for the same job. The two play a game of who is the worst spy, and Luke loses. The two are called back for their interviews. Luke's is, let's just say cringe is a very loose word I'd use for how he's doing. You see, when you're trying to get into a position for a certain job, one thing they don't want to be is to be treated like they're in school, for one, and the second is that they don't want to see the percentage of your attendance. Luke leaves as Rachel goes to meet the board. Her first meeting going well, she's in hopes that it will go well with the board, and it does. They say that they'll call her back, unlike with Luke's. She gets the call that the board wants to meet with her again, and so is Luke. The two are called in together, weirdly enough. The board wants Luke and Rachel to work together to make the 30th anniversary a smashing hit, giving everyone the experience of a lifetime. They are competitive the whole time, aren't they? The two get to work as Luke has took some of her advice for the VIP area, and the two argue on whose idea it actually was.
Luke, I want it to be more than fine. I want it to be the best.
So do I.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
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 Okay.
Yeah. Am I dead yet?
I'm low-key thinking of eating fire ants so that when they bite me back, I can actually feel physical pain than mental.
You know, I can't help but think we've got this whole park at our disposal, and we're having the event on Show Street. I mean, it's beautiful, but
Yeah, it's the centerpiece of the park. It's where we always have the parties.
yeah, but I feel like we're missing something.
You mean the fact that I've seen the sign more times than I've seen the VIP area, or, I don't know, any of the rides? Hell, the overhead of the place. I've never been here, so where the hell is Show Street? Show places, show rides. This is how business is made. I know you're party planners, but you can at least show the place so that the party planners know what to expect when people come here. I have seen not a single ride that they're talking about. I've not seen a single area. Oh, cool. I get to see the tree over here by street. Oh, that makes me want to go to Dollywood so bad now. With no other ideas at the moment, she goes to the bookstore her mom is working at, reading to the children, which includes Ava. Luke goes back to walking around the park, meeting Ava, then going on his way.
Riveting story we got here.
With the meals being created by the chefs and the outfit choosing to be more festive than formal being done, the only thing to do is talk about scheduling. But since Rachel's family is doing an open house, dinner is at her parents' place. Luke apologizes, as does Rachel, for how they've been acting towards each other. But sadly, I feel like that won't last, but this is a good start. The next day, however, a big celebrity is here. Yep, Dolly Parton has come back to check on the place, and Luke is talking to her. Rachel, caught up in the celebrity craze, goes to find Luke, who is nowhere near Dolly. And at this point, I quit caring. No, really, Rachel has a day off and decides to go to Dollywood with her daughter. Now they just say they went on to every ride. Do we see it?
Fuck you!
Luke is here. Supposed to be his day off, but the three spend time together. That's it. Rachel invites Luke over to dinner and, who cares?
Nothing is happening, and there is supposed to be character building between the two. And guess what? It's nothing special. The Winter Princess progressed like the scavenger hunt for Christmas, Hitch for the holidays. I got so bored I started watching Danny Phantom. And I'm dead serious. By the time I've actually finished this, I probably finished the whole first season by now.
So I'm fast forwarding by a lot. In this time frame of most Hallmark movies, it's the I think I love you stage. But I'm not supposed to stage. We get a dress hall for the crew to wear. The head comes over and tells them that the celebration is going to be on TV, so no pressure or anything. Rachel and Luke go dancing. They talk about what they want in life and how things in the future are going to be better after this, or worries that they aren't putting their best up.
Get on with it!
Okay, so Gail, the place Rachel works for, wants her to be manager at the company, then owner. But that doesn't matter because she's not going to take it. Why are you still on about this? She's not going to take it and instead is going to work for Dollywood and get with Luke. Move on from this. So everything is falling into place. They begin to test the LED tree and how the parade will go, as Dolly says that she wants to see the tree. Sadly, though, the tree begins glitching. This, honestly, is why you don't have LED trees, and thankfully, Dolly can't make it to see the tree.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That does not sound like the Luke I've come to know. You sound very zen.
I put vodka in this hot chocolate.
I've also forgot to tell you 2 important stories that's happened to our characters. Luke wants to be the next head as their assistant, but it seems like they've actually gotten someone else, even though Luke has been there for years and has been asking for the position, while Rachel wants to get back into writing to publish her book. I forgot to say, but it's not important. It doesn't matter. Literally filler because they can only afford to be in Dollywood for 3 days and have the rest either in the parents' place or business building for one of their other sets. So it's the day of the big event. Luke tells Rachel that he didn't get the job as she's shocked because they haven't even seen the event yet.
Welcome to life, baby. Also doesn't help that he treated them like children, but go off.
Rachel,
Hey! Evening, Luke.
Hi, Dolly.
So, an entire hour into this movie, the park that this is named after, the movie which this is named after, she finally appears. Hallmark could afford to only show the entrance of Dollywood, but not Dolly Parton herself until the last 12 minutes of this movie. Perfect. That went everywhere.
She says she's happy and excited for the event. She gives a speech about being thankful for everyone who's helped make this big event a thing and just leaves as the rest of the parade commences. The crowd walks down to the LED tree as the tree still isn't working right. But after a bit of fiddling around, it works. Afterward, Rachel realizes that she belongs in Pigeon Forge. Everyone is happy, but she feels something is missing. Luke is missing for the event. She goes to find him and can't find him. But Dolly comes out and gives her some advice, also telling Rachel that Luke is going to be the manager of the place.
And you didn't tell him. He's going somewhere because no one told him, Dolly. Why would you not tell him when you're introducing a new assistant manager when he's the actual manager? Movie, you think not telling people is important information? That's not okay. Until the important person is ready to leave, then you're like, oh my god, why are they leaving? Like, you need to tell, like, normal people tell people, hey, you're getting this promotion. and then they stay. Or they're like, oh, I want to hear about this person, what they thought, even though Luke generally was like, I'm not leaving. I just can't see how you can literally be like, oh, I'm not going to tell him until, like, he's ready to leave, or he thinks that, like, him being here is worth nothing. Actually, that's most businesses nowadays.
Rachel races to Glacier Mountain to see Luke. She tells him he got the promotion as well as her and Ava are staying, leaving the two to kiss. Good. I like how they have a few Dolly Parton songs playing. I like Rachel's parents and how her interactions with them are actually very nice. I like the 4 musicians we have in Dollywood that play country versions of the Christmas songs. They're very catchy. Oh, and hey, we get to go to Dollywood, like 3 places in Dollywood, but we get to see Dolly Parton herself in the last 12 minutes of the movie. I cannot think of anything else good to say, and I'm scraping the barrel here. And also, maybe we get to see her for like 5 minutes. Bad. For a place called Dollywood, sure would have loved to seen it. No, really, we saw a VIP area, a bookstore, and the sign for Dollywood in Glacier Mountain. Okay, we get a tree and a bear mascot. Where is that? I've never been. That helps no one who has been here. Hell, for the people who have been, they probably don't even know where they are. I want to see Dollywood and go places. I could go to the amusement park. Hell, I could go to my downtown area and find a venue with a VIP area, a tree, and a sign, and just say it's Dollywood. So, Rachel's husband died. From what? How old was Ava? What did he do job-wise? What was he like? We get the mom talking about him for a bit, and that's because Rachel was depressed and had to pick herself up, but anything else? Nothing? Really? This was your husband. You would think, like, her and Ava would talk about him a bit more. Okay, he likes peppermint. What else? Luke and Rachel's love was supposed to be a competitive rivalry to lovers type of story. But what it really was 2 people who are in the same field just trying to pick on each other that aren't offended and don't really try to argue when picked on. It's kind of what kids think love is. Picking on each other, taking it, then somehow kissing. Plots that are added for character, but don't add or do anything. And honestly, why film it in Dollywood? They're not going to show it. You're not going to do anything with it. So why don't you just say you're in some random theme park that's having its 30th anniversary, like 6 years actually it actually had it, and just go from there? What is the point of being in Dollywood if you're not going to do anything with it? You're not going to show even the place. Hell, you're not even going to have the lady that's supposed to be in there. She could have been like, oh, I'm walking around here trying to figure out what to do. This isn't working out. I need someone to help me. I've got all these people, but they're all just yes men. What else can I do? And also, I didn't add this in because it was supposed to be in here later, but there's a scene at the end where it's 1 year later, and this is when Rachel's book is published, and it's like, it's in the Dollywood little library, like later on. Why does this matter? Why did this need to be added to the story? It doesn't do anything. Okay, cool. It adds them to get another kiss scene, and it's like 1 year later that they're together. Big whoop-de-freaking-do.
Do you know what I realized? That all of these movies somehow have alcohol in these. No, really, like, is Hallmark just trying to tell us that you need to get through all of these movies with alcohol? Well, I only have Dr. Pepper. But, I mean, if this is what they've been trying to tell us this whole time, why don't you just, like, straight up make a movie being like, a woman who's a fancy businessman, a man who works at brewing alcohol, the two together, and then hold on, let me just, because this is the end, but Smokey, I have put her in here as many times as I could, but also she's just like, oh, let me just make my way up here. Actually, she was like over here. Ma'am, she's not in any pain or anything. Where are you going? Oh God, she's gonna go. Holly ho! Of course she does that. Smokey. She's like, nope. I guess this is how this is.